Friends, today, as I told, we have with us Pawan Kumar sir. He is presently working as Commissioner Income Tax in Mumbai. He has an experience of more than 20 years, and in these 20 years he worked in different fields. He has won accolades, particularly in the investigation wing. అంటే అతను యశోద, అలాగే హెట్రో ఫార్మా, ఎంఎస్ఎన్ ఫార్మా లార్జ్ కంపెనీస్ని when he was in investigation wing, he was able to find out, unearth a huge amount for which tax was not paid, which is a big thing in those days, and for which he has won awards also. And sir also worked in international taxation, which is gaining prominence in the last few years, along with transfer pricing and assessment. And 2 years ago, he worked as the head of income tax for AP and Telangana. That was the time when we got chance to invite him to come for mock interviews. And his mock interviews really helped us, and some of our students who got ranks also got benefited from his mock interviews. Today, I requested him to address new students. Generally, as I told you already, he only comes for mock interviews or addresses students who finished their mains and going to interview, generally. He generally does not talk to the newcomers or those who start preparation. But I asked him this time to specifically focus on service, IRS as a service. IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS, the services, you should know the job profile and type of work of each service so that you will be well aware and you will be informed to choose the right service. As one among the top 3 services, and some people even opt IAS and then IRS directly. Very few opt IFS above IRS. So I felt it's very important for you to understand IRS service, and there is no one better than him because he has good experience and worked in different fields in IRS. There is no one better than him who can explain you about the job profile, different fields in IRS. So get the most of it and ask questions, clear your doubts, so that when you start preparing itself, it will be very clear which service you would like the most. Sir, please.
Very good morning. So first of all, I congratulate you all for taking the decision to write the civil services. Okay? And this congratulations should, you should also receive them again when you probably get into the service. So that will be a real congratulations and achievement. Right? So, in the broad sense, before going into IRS as a service, I just like to mention a few things about the preparation time, which is the most important phase of your life. So, way back in 98, 99, where I was also in the stage where you are now. So, it's like, mixed feelings, the preparation itself. No doubt the decision which you have taken to write the civil services is a big decision in life. It will change either way, in the sense if you get the service, also it will change your life. Unfortunately, it so happened that since the competition is so high, the quality of the competition is also so high. So some people may not get the service. In fact, frankly speaking, many people may not get the service. So there also, that is also important phase for you, where you have to withstand the negative result and then go ahead with life. You should always keep in mind that getting civil services is not the end of life or the start of life. It is the process of life. If you get, it is fine. If you don't get also, you need not get disappointed. This world is not going to end with that, and especially your life is not going to end with that. And you might have gained certain important things, learned your lessons, so as to carry in other professions and other careers. So that will also give you strength and then good capacity to deal with your job wherever you are. Now with this interaction, so now it's, according to me, it's more of a mental aptitude rather, as well as dealing with psychology of your phase of life. So some of the, I will just keep quoting certain things where you may feel relevant, certain things may not be relevant to you. Now, you come across students who have decided to write civil service right from school days, and those who have decided to write civil service during the college days, and suddenly some person decides to write while doing the job also, resigns, and then feels like, I should write civil service. So you come across different persons. So the first and foremost, when you join in a coaching center here in the Gandhinagar, Ashoknagar area in Hyderabad or in Delhi, this is the focal areas where you come across all your peers who are into the same stream. So wherever you are, you are the student who has decided to write civil service in 8th class, 9th class itself, or you are a person who has resigned the job, don't compare yourself with others. Okay? First and foremost, you are on your own. Your preparation is yours. You always compare others with how they are preparing. See, in life, not only in preparation, everywhere, you come across people from whom you can learn certain things, from whom also you can learn, you should not learn certain things, right? So these are the people like who have not got the civil services but prepared well. There also you can observe that person. You should not grill him or interview him, but then he's all qualified, capable, writes good and all. But then why he did not get? What is the lacuna in his preparation? Whether I can change in my preparation. And for those who got good rank and toppers, if you have if you happen to interact with them, so you should understand how he got the service. But then again, your preparation is your own. So having said that, the second aspect what I have noticed is you are in your prime youth. Let's say all of you must have crossed 22, 23 and before 30. So this is the phase in life where many people outside your own college mates, relatives, friends might have already got settled in job. They must be earning well. Some of them, because being from Telugu states, some of them have already gone to states or other places where they might have working well and sending money to their home, all these things. And believe me, that is all different. Yes, you have chosen this path. Don't compare. There will be comparisons in your house, in your relatives. They will keep on array, that guy has got the job, why you have not? And see, the phase where I have written in 98, 99 is the peak of software boom in Hyderabad. This was the hub for all my classmates who got prepared for small certification courses and then gone to abroad and then settled there. So, and believe me, there are some people who could not withstand the pressure of civil services. Those who have written with me, they have suddenly stopped and then learnt 1 or 2 software programs in 6 months to 1 year, and they have also gone. So I was left alone till I got till 2001 till I got the service. So I was like, obviously you are not yet settled. So this is the phase you will also come across. Don't get disheartened, don't get disappointed. Just keep your preparation intact and let it ongoing process. Right? Once you get selected, everything is going to change. Believe me, once you become a civil servant, it is one of the, not that I am in a civil service, because I can tell my own examples also. Things are going to change. So wait for that. Okay? Now, in this aspect, I will like to share, I have done MSc in zoology. Okay? Those days, this kind of NEET, that exam was not there when I was in intermediate. So whatever the rank was just missing and I couldn't get into medicine. So I have done BSc and then MSc zoology. MSc zoology I have done only with intention to take it as an option. not to become a scientist or research side. So, but then all my schoolmates, those who are in biology group, became doctors. By the time I was writing civil service, they are already MBBS plus MS or MD. Many people are doing, and some of them have opened their clinics. And they don't bother about you, however intelligent, brilliant you are at your studies. They will simply say, he is preparing for civil service. Preparing for civil service is a status. There is nothing great about it. But they will say, you are preparing for civil service. But then you will also feel little jealous about them that they have already settled in. On the one hand, this is the thing. Those who are in college or those who are schoolmates who are into engineering and general people also, I should not quote this, but there were instances where people used to get BTech certificate from Usmani University with a fake just for 10,000, and then based on that you do some mainframes and then go abroad. So that is fraud things were also happening with students, but end of the day they settled in abroad. So this is a phase you have to the generation has changed now compared to our generation, your generation. There are more opportunities, more people settling in life early than you. So this you have to withstand. Okay. So that's why I said it is a psychological game. So understand yourself, understand your preparation, be in your preparation, understand your deficiencies, try to improvise. It's not the perfection always, it is the progress. Even the topper may not be perfect in all subjects. If you decipher his kind of marks, option 1, option 2 nowadays, general studies, general essay or interview. So it is not that everywhere he got great, somewhere he might have got great marks and which might have pushed him to the top rank. So what I am saying is it is not a perfection, it is a progress. So always your subject, your general studies, how good you are at it, what are the tough areas you are facing. So it is a mentally challenging thing, you have to improvise upon that. So this is the kind of attitude you should always have. So I think I covered that area of now you are entering into the preparation. Preparation in our days, even earlier or now also, it is a 1-year exam, right? You are writing prelims, after that mains and then interview. So most of the people, I am saying most of the people who are not successful in civil services while writing the exam, the fundamental mistake which they do is that they prepare in a kind of piecemeal approach, where you prepare for prelims, then you get selected, then you prepare for the mains, then you get the selection for the interview, then you prepare for the interview. No, it's not so. So you should have a full-fledged 360-degree kind of preparation, a wholesome preparation, where your aim is to get into the civil service. Your aim is not to crack the prelims. Our days some people used to I cleared prelims, I am great. It doesn't count. It's nothing unless you get the service. So it don't serve your purpose. So now you might have already written civil services prelims. I think already it is over. Or if you have not written, even if you have written not selected also, now it is just the same. So keeping April, May is a month in which prelims happens. So you should have preparation now itself. Prepare the subject as it is. For example, my option was geography and also another option was zoology. Those days we used to have 2 optionals. So my preliminary exam, because I have done MSc, zoology was my subject for prelims. So I used to prepare for the mains as well as prelims. So it should be a combined preparation for the mains and prelims together. Always do that, even for the general studies also. Don't go, most of the preliminary examination is a multiple choice exam. So you just prepare in such a way. So bits and pieces, multiple choice. It's a multiple choice according to me, the elimination process. Out of the 4 options, believe in me, keep it in mind that when you are writing preliminary exam, generally most of the competitive exams where you have multiple choice, it is not the selection. You have to eliminate the wrong answer. Okay? So with that attitude, But in general, mains, it is different kind of exam and pattern. So you need to balance both. This balancing you should learn uh, as you are preparing. You cannot achieve this once you clear prelims and then 2-3 months you are preparing for the mains. This kind of aspects and then fine tuning is not possible in 2-3 months. So you have ample of time. Keep that in mind. So prepare for both together, rather 3 together. But interview is a personality approach. So personality, you should have you should always feel like I am going to be an officer. So in services, people call it OLQ. What is OLQ? It is officer-like qualities. What are the qualities of an officer? Okay, you might have seen in media and all that. Don't go by what is projected there, but generally I am saying, what is the qualification to be an officer? One thing is discipline, be a systematic, be a dignified person. Your attitude and approach in normal day-to-day life also should be like an officer. Many people have this feeling that when I become civil servant, I will become an officer. No, it's not that. It is officer in the process. An officer also works hard or studies hard. So even when you get into the job also, first 10 years in the field, in any service, is going to be field job where you have to really put in a lot of efforts. You should have a disciplined lifestyle. Then only you will achieve success in your posting, or you can contribute in the posting. And post or the service is such that it will push you to adopt. You may have to if you are in IRS, if you're going for a ride and all that, you may have to forego sleep for 3-4 days. So you will enjoy the process. So what I'm saying is, be disciplined, be systematic, feel like an officer. This is a transformation phase from student to officer. So that you achieve in the preparation time itself. Many times I have seen in my batchmates or peers also, those who have got selected without this attitude suddenly become officer, you still behave silly, and then in the field also you may get a not a good name as you deserve. So that is officer, becoming an officer is in the preparation. You should have that attitude. Now, needless to say that you need to read the magazines, read the newspaper, and don't watch channels much, because there is cacophony in the channel. Nothing much you can, I don't think, except for certain shows where debates are going in a healthy way. So the things have changed compared to our days when media was quite neutral when we were preparing. Now, if you are opening a newspaper, which side the newspaper is also there, you may not understand. So that is the kind of scenario where you are living now. So try to, as an officer, you should have a neutral, balanced opinion. So when it comes to general studies, when it comes to personality development related aspects, so you should have this balancing approach. Okay. Now, one more thing, many people don't get it with respect to interview is that when you get selected for the interview after the mains, in that 1 or 2 months phase, you tend to improve your personality. Then some people including, your dressing also matters there. Dressing in the sense, at least presentable dressing. And people, preparation time, nobody will ask you. You can be in your room for hours together just for eating, maybe in a mess or outside you go out or from shopping. After that, you are again back. So, you lead a shabby life, nobody bothers. But then my suggestion is, don't be so lazy and all that. Suddenly your personality will not become dynamic or energetic or presentable in the last phase of 2-3 months. Have this attitude, getting up early in the morning, whatever time it is, and then have a systematic day, the systematic lifestyle, so that when you are going to the interview, then you are with minimum efforts, because already you have imbibed these qualities in you. Now, one best example is that some people keep a hobby. Last time when I was doing a mock interview, So somebody said kitchen gardening, then I could understand that just for the heck of it, the candidate has written it's kitchen gardening. She doesn't know much about kitchen gardening. She has actually not done anything. But some important books, one or two she read, and then she thought she will answer. So don't have this kind of attitude. So in interview, it is going to be a personality aspect. So this personality, suppose if you are writing a hobby, mentioning that I am good at badminton. So keep playing badminton. It actually, it's not a waste of time. Whatever you do for you developing your personality, especially the physical exercise form, will energize your brain and will keep you in a good humor. In that sense, you are like, according to my understand, the person who is into yoga or exercise every day or whatever in his lifestyle, if he prepares for 6 to 8 hours, may be enough for a person who is preparing 12 hours without this exercise and all. So have this kind of routine where you are like, in youth, you should not be lazy and all. So whatever hobby you are intended to keep in your interview, have that prepared now. Like, cooking, some people may say, now keep cooking now and then, try to understand what is, different recipes. Like somebody says, cooking is my hobby. If they don't know what are the ingredients of biryani, if you are from Hyderabad, then it's useless. You will be caught there. No sir, I am vegetarian. That's all fine. Vegetarian biryani, vegetable biryani also, you should know what is there. So this kind of simple things, like, common sense things. Now if you are reading fiction is my hobby. So suppose if in the interview board, the obvious question may be, who is your favorite author? What is the recent fiction book you have read? So you may look silly that, sir, in preparation I didn't have time to read the fiction. Actually, if it is your hobby, you will pursue it. No? So with this kind of, you can say, I am athletic, I love running. Some people may write marathon. Then have you participated in the recent marathon? So for the interview board, these things also matter. For you, you may feel preparation is life, start and end of it, and so I don't have time for anything else. Yes, you can have time for these kind of things, because these are hobbies are supposed to be inculcated in your day-to-day life. Right? If you are somebody has, I can recollect a few years back, somebody has put temples, visiting temples is a hobby. So temple architecture, something like that she has. Then I asked the candidate, what are the recent temples you have visited? Okay, the candidate answered something. Then I asked about here Yadadri, and the candidate says, I have not visited it. So it looks odd. Visiting temples is your hobby. If you are a Hindu, if you are interested in that architecture, if you have not visited Tirupati, then obviously it will look a little odd. So you may answer it in a different way, you may whatever, but I am saying the common sense thing is that whatever hobbies you are keeping in interview, have it now itself. Then one more important aspect is with regard to mains, which carry the major marks in your preparation. The time available for mains is very less, right? It appears that the time available for preliminary exam is more. After preliminary, it is only 2-3 months. So for preliminary, from here onwards, almost 10 months you have got. It is not so. That's why I am saying the mains itself you have to prepare now, because things will be hard pressed. You will be lacking time for the preparation after you get the result in June. Then mains in September, October. So to avoid the hard work at that time, you should have your 50 to 70% of preparation done before you write the prelims. It will be useful to you while writing the prelims also in a different sense, because you will gain a lot of confidence when you prepare already for the mains. Preliminary exam preparation, according to my understanding, it won't take more than 2-3 months. So you have a couple of months extra, 8 to 10 months. So devise it in such a pattern that you will be preparing parallelly, morning 3-4 hours you can dedicate for the prelims, and then post lunch, something like that you can plan. Up to you. You are all intelligent and matured people to plan. Planning you should not depend on others. You know the syllabus, you know the exam pattern, you know what is going to be the kind of marks and questions you are getting, short answers, long answers, analytic answers, all that you should go through. And one important aspect which many people do this mistake is that they don't read the old question papers. See, you maybe, as I was informing that I am a zoology student. I have done post-graduation zoology. And frankly, I am admitting that I am not a gold medalist in zoology. Okay? Maybe third or fourth rank in the university I got. I am not a topper in that sense. But I know my subject standards, I am good at subject. Not getting the marks or rank is not an issue here. But why I am saying this is, on comparative basis, there was topper in my college, my senior, even my batchmate also, who got more marks than me in zoology. In mains, they couldn't get, right? And one guy, unfortunately, he couldn't even clear the prelims also. Okay? This, why it happens is, your, the source of knowledge, the abundance of knowledge which you have should be proportional to the kind of question paper pattern you are attending. Okay? You are writing an exam. Your knowledge of the subject preparation should match the questions. You have to answer according to the question. Okay? So why I am emphasizing this is, ultimately your test there is the questions and then kind of answers you are writing. So you have to tune your preparation such a way that, which, for example, in mains, you have paper 1, paper 2, and if I attempt which question, what kind of answer I give, so I will get better marks. It is not that I read all the, I have read Sarat Chandra Academy guide, so I am thorough. It's not that. What are the good books, literature available? Especially, this is this idea of reading coaching material. I have done, as I informed, geography and zoology. I never studied this kind of guide. In our time also, Siddhartha was there for geography, which was quite famous. I think now also it is available. But I read the textbooks like, Strahler and Strahler, Goching Lang, Savindra Singh, or Majid Hussain. Like, the first source for your subject should be the textbooks. Remember, the professors who are correcting your exam in the evaluation time have read those books, have taught to the students based on the knowledge available in the textbooks. It is not the coaching material. Okay? So you should read the primary source, not the secondary source. Keep it in mind, if you want to excel in your option, any subject for that matter, Constitution of India, Sarat Chandra might have written a very good book, or some other R.C. Reddy might have written a very good book. But if you are writing, if you are reading D.D. Basu, that kind of books, that is the primary source. Then you verify the coaching center material. There is nothing harm in verifying. So that comparative basis, what is available in the coaching center material and how is it different? See, coaching center material is fine-tuned depending on, it should be understandable, available to all the students, different kind. But you should always feel, I am an excellent student. I am a bright student, I am a brilliant student, I understand subject better than others. That should be the confidence you should have. How will you have that when you read the best material? Okay? So my suggestion is always, like for example, history. For general studies, you read NCERT textbooks, proper. And if you are writing Telugu also, Telugu Academy textbooks are there on Andhra, Telangana history. Read those material. Don't go into this coaching center material is a quick guide, but that may not fetch you good marks compared to the textbook. Then whether you should write your own notes or not, that is up to you. It depends on, you have been in education curriculum for the past more than 15-20 years. You know, as a student, whether writing your own notes, what kind of notes, whether reading a textbook and then jotting down certain points is enough. That is your style of preparation. If you are writing entire notes, you have to work hard. For certain subjects, for certain topics, you need not write any notes. So this is the kind of attitude you should have for the mains. And anything, because I want to, second phase, I want to cover with regard to the service IRS as such. So preparation, if you feel like sharing anything, just ask me a few questions so that we can get into the next part of our session.
So how to encounter stress while preparing?
See, there should be stress of preparation. Like, let us say you have put a target of completing history for prelims this week. If you have not completed, then you should feel stress, right? In the positive sense. So that in next 3-4 days, you somehow squeeze and finish your intended syllabus or topics. So in that way, stress should work. And the major other thing what your question is that general stress. I can say yoga meditation is the best thing, but if you are not prepared, if you are not attuned to yoga meditation right from beginning, whatever is your stress buster, you have acquired stress only because you are preparing for civils now, then it is a new stress, which all of us while preparing will have. Try to relax. Then go back to my introductory comments that world is not going to end if you fail. Nothing. ठीक है. What is the stress about? You should analyze your stress. Is it like, there are external, internal kind of stresses as a student you come across. External stress is your parents or your relatives putting pressure on you. Arey, you have not cleared, what happened? That is the external stress, which you should, the best thing to do is ignore. Beyond that, you can't do anything. The internal thing is which you are feeling the deficiency in your preparation, the kind of tension you feel that this optional somebody had not got last year good marks. These kind of many factors are there. So my suggestion is, I always suggest to any of my friends or juniors also that you jot down what are your stress factors, which is causing you stress. Divide them into internal, external, and then see in life, this is a common sense thing that external factors you can't do much about it. Others feeling bad about you, others feeling your delay in success and all that, you have no choice. So better to ignore it. The second part is the introspection part, of the internal factors for the stress. You analyze this, is it subject related, is it preparation related or career related? Draw positive, negative, and end of the day, try to gain confidence out of that. Change your style of preparation or pattern. So like that you have to go ahead with. Stress should be there, but it's a healthy. Then you should be mentally strong also. Suppose, like I faced this 2 times. I attended the interview, but then I couldn't clear interview. The biggest problem with the civils preparation is that it is back to square one. Your ranks are announced, your name is not there. Then in our days, within 10 days, 15 days, preliminary exam will be there for the next year. So that is the biggest challenge as a person for you. Tackling the failure. See, for outsiders, you are a failure. You might have missed by 1 mark, which happened with me. I just missed my 2 marks or 3 marks, that's all. But you may be confident, you feel I will be a topper, but it happens with many people, it happens. So by the time you understand failure, you are crying like, I could not get a civils rank this year. Then preliminary is waiting for you. Another 10, 20, 15 days you should write the preliminary. So I think in that process you become matured. There is no option there. You have to flight or fight kind of situation where you have to leave it or no. Only civils interview in the last phase by very whisker I lost it. So if I try with a little extra effort, I will get next year. So with that confidence you will go ahead.
You said you should have officer-like qualities. Like how should we add them in real life from now itself? If we start preparing for interview after the means, you said said it won't be sufficient because we can't shift time between. So how should we add them in our daily work?
See, basically, you don't know how an officer will be, right? Unless you have some relative or some elder to you. But if he is not a disciplined officer, then you will have a bad example also. So, what I was intended in making this comment is, officer-like qualities is who is the best student? I mean, good student rather, not a best student. Good student is who is disciplined, comes to class regularly, studies well, participates in extracurricular, and he is a decent, doesn't do much of a ruckus in the class. So same way, who is a good human being? So similarly, who is a good officer? So like, you should have good lifestyle, right? Intend to work hard, and then we say positive bent of mind. So she's a good girl. In what sense they will make this comment, good girl? Because you are disciplined. Same way, officer is also not different from normal human being. So it is like, officer like quality, what I meant is, you should have a systematic lifestyle. You should mean what you are saying. In the interview, you are keeping some hobbies. So that preparation you should have. Rest of the preparation is like, presenting yourself as an officer, understanding the questions there and answering them. So this is what I meant is that, typical things, many people get up by 9, 10 o'clock also. If you have class at 10 o'clock, probably you may get up 9 o'clock and then get ready, brush your teeth, and without taking bath also you come to the class. So which is like, not a good lifestyle. So you should have probably 6 or 7 o'clock you should get up, or whatever is your morning routine you should have. So this is what I meant, systematic life will make you become a good officer also in future. So many people think that once I get service, I will get up by 6 o'clock. Is it possible? And you will get up. Believe me, once you go to Mussoorie, it is very painful training. So morning by 5, I think 4:45 you used to get up. By 5, you should be in the ground for the yoga or PT, and then almost an hour it is there. Again 6 to 7, 7:30 you are there for the morning ablutions. Then by 8 you should go to the breakfast. 8:30 breakfast will be over. By 8:45, 9 you should be in the class. So this is the rigor you are going to have in training. So same, you become all of you feel you become a collector, which everybody will not become collector in the first year itself. After 10 years or so you become, or an IRS or IPS, any officer. So you have to go to the office by 9:30, 10. Will you be like, 9 o'clock also you can get up and go. It's not this thing. But then how comfortably you are going, how comfortably you are dealing your day or dealing in your office. So that is what I meant. You should inculcate these things. Many people postpone that once I become officer, I will start all this. So have these things in a regular routine life, and definitely it will help you in preparation. This is what I meant. See, you tell me somebody systematically goes to sleep by 10:30, 11 o'clock, gets up by 5:36, and if you read in the morning for 1 or 2 hours, will you not be more successful in the exam than if you get up by 9 o'clock, that kind of thing. So this is the differentiation you should have.
Sir, some of the people who appeared in UPSC, unfortunately they could not clear UPSC. Sir, they used to suggest like don't spend more than 3 years or don't give more than 3 attempts. It is not like they used to suggest like that. Sir. Should we consider that?
See, it is a fact that unless some miracle happens, you will get everything in the first attempt. Okay, let's accept this kind of pattern. So 1 year will not be sufficient. 2 years is minimum one should have. And how many attempts are available now? 4 attempts for the general category? 6. Okay. Oh, our time it was 4. So it depends. It varies from person to person. It depends in, if you have reservation, I think up to 35 years also is allowed. Suppose if you are SC, ST. OBC, I think 31, 32. And general category is 30? 32. So all you old people are going to come to service now. SC, ST is 35 now or increase? 37. So 60 is the retirement age. So if you get selected at 37, you will have only 23 years of service. It depends on your patience, and it all depends on your, see, as I said, person to person it varies. Suppose you are the bread earner for your family, so you can't afford to spend the entire 6 years. The whole family, parents or everybody depending on you. So this is very highly subjective thing. You have to understand your situation and then go accordingly. But according to me, it will take minimum 2 to 3 years to get a good service. That's an accepted thing. People may say, I will give you coaching from school days onwards, you will get the first attempt. Don't accept. But you can get, I am not saying you can't get, but mentally be prepared when you are taking a decision of writing the exam, mentally be prepared that 2 to 3 years is minimum required. So now, let us say you have put a, for example, you have put a bar of 3 years, beyond that I won't going to write. So third year, as it happened with me, you may get a, by whisker you lose. Will you stop writing, or will you go ahead, or just not even 5%, 1% improvement in my preparation and luck here and there may get me good service also, then we will not stop. And then suppose if you have already got a rank, but it is a border rank, provided if you write again, you may get a topper rank. So this is the scenario, you become flexible, right? Yes, after 2-3 years also, if you have not cleared prelims, if you have not cleared mains with again border marks and all that, then I think it's a call to be taken to stop this. Because as I said, prime youth you are spending 3-4 years, then you empty handed you go back, I think careers may be very difficult also, unless you have great urgent determination, right? So boys are all clear, no doubts. Is it a healthy sign that there are more girls in the class than boys? Is it in the sense Sarat has put the class strength like this, or generally also girls are writing more than boys? No, I am just asking, in the coaching center, if strength is more? Okay. It's a good sign. In nowadays, only first 1 or 2 rows used to be girls, then most of them are to be boys. So we'll go ahead to the next aspect. So I will, since I am from the service of IRS, I thought I will share how IRS is going to be. Okay. So I know much about IAS, IPS and other services also now, because of my colleagues and batchmates, you come across them regularly. But when you are writing the services, the phase where you are, believe me, 99% of the students, the civil aspirants, will have no idea about rest of the services. It's a fact. So IAS, IPS, many people know because it is the face of the service. The other services also are not known because IAS get exposed more, IPS get exposed more. And in that also, collector and DM, they call in North, SP, Superintendent of Police of the district, they get exposed a lot. So people think that IAS means only collector, IPS means only SP. It is probably out of the 30 years odd of your service, it is only 4 to 5 years or 6 years max. I think very, very rarely 7 or 8 years. So a collector may work for only 1 or 2 districts. Some people may work only for 1 district as a collector. Same with the SP. But other services are lesser known comparatively. I don't know how famous is IRS as a service. Anybody who knows about IRS, just don't hesitate. Whatever you know, just tell me. So, okay. IRS stands for Indian Revenue Service. Right. What else?
Means in collection of tax.
Right?
Financial status.
Uh-huh.
Financial status.
Financial, deal with finances. Right. Boys, just answer me, whatever is there. What do you know about IRS? Do you know any posting of IRS? Designation? Like, collector is the designation IAS. IRS, what is the designation? Excellent. So, this is the designation. You start as an assistant commissioner, right? Perfect. And IRS is also very famous for one thing, which you know it, but you are not giving that. Handling corruption. Job aspect, in introduction also Sarat told about something. Rights. Yes, IT rights. Right. Fine. Broadly, you have touched upon what is there in IRS. In the broad sense, it is correct. So, you are aware compared to our time. Now, in US also it is called IRS, okay? And they do the same job like what we do in India, in more or less same. It is called Internal Revenue Service. So, my friends abroad, those who software techies settled there, when I informed them, when I got service 24 years back, that time, IRS, very powerful here also, yeah, it is like, everybody fears IRS. So, Internal Revenue Service in IRS also is quite famous that way. When somebody says you are powerful, you feel happy, okay? You should feel happy, because before going to it, I thought it just occurred to me. You may, whatever theoretical academic answers you are giving in interview, why you are writing services, your choice. But frankly speaking, as an officer, why we write, I don't know. But what you get after getting into service is, you get very good respect, okay? Which is generally rare for outsiders. You feel happy when somebody calls you sir, madam. It's a human tendency. In software or other private sector, you may be head of the entire state also. Pawan, what's happening today? That nobody will dare you to call Pawan in your officer except your senior, superior. So this is the recognition you get, respect everywhere. If you are a good class 1 officer, your relatives, your friends, my close friends who used to call me Arey and all that also stopped calling me. Later at the cost of losing friendship, I started telling them, no, you should also, I'm just the same. So you give good respect and good recognition also. They don't know what you are actually, like, my relatives or friends, they actually, now they know, they will just ask, just for the asking sake, you are commissioner now, when is your next promotion? It doesn't matter to them actually. But they will feel happy, your commissioner. They will also tell their friends, my friend commissioner, he's in Hyderabad, he's in Bombay, that they keep quoting, which you feel happy about it. You get good respect. If you go to a family function, according to me, if you are, I understand most of us are from middle class, just for this purpose itself, you should write an exam and get into the civil services. For the respect and recognition. Rest of things, they will fall in place. But my suggestion to you is, if you want to be respected in life, recognized in life, this is the shortcut. Your MLA, your minister may get after 30 years, 20 years. And one more on a funny side, I'm just, don't quote me otherwise. Suppose MLA is there, he is not sure of next term. Even if you become MLA also, whether you are in ruling party or these things matter. But you deal all these things by age of 25, 30 max. So it's a shortcut to success. And it will be going to be there for 30, 35 years. And so power and recognition you get, and lot of good facilities in life. The salary may look less. I admit first few years it is little pinching, don't bother. The facilities you get are worth some crores. In the sense, what I am saying is, unless somebody who is very rich enough, they cannot get these kind of facilities, what you get in a civil services. That is for sure. Initial years you may compare, I am just getting 50,000, 60,000 salary. Even today also my salary is 2.5 lakh. But the minimum common facilities which I am enjoying because of I am in service are worth to be enjoyed by somebody who has got 50, 100 crore net wealth kind of thing. It is with being straightforward, with being clean also you can enjoy, because certain things are taken care. So your life will be taken care. Then of course you will get the job satisfaction. You feel you are doing something to the society and your decisions are going to impact the society. You feel happy about it. The job satisfaction factor is more compared to private sector. Somebody might have worked for Tata. See, ultimately he has helped Tatas to become rich, right? You may work in Symbiosis or TCS, any other company, but you have made the software company MD to become rich. But we have made government to become rich, the country to become rich, the people to become rich, right? So this richness is because of, one of the factors is because of IRS in this country. Now, Indian Revenue Service, earlier, I tell you, I put IRS, why I didn't opt for IPS with some 6 cents, whatever. I got IPS rank. When you prepare, your senses, 6 senses, sometimes confidence also works in your favor. So I could have got Manipur cadre. I'm not, without disparaging any cadre, but I felt like I will get a bad cadre if I am getting IPS. Somehow I put 0, I put IRS next. So which was a good decision. If you are not confident, don't take that risk. I lost the recognition IPS officer, but it's okay. Many people, after knowing that, Northeast people don't want to go. Now coming back, why I have opted for IRS with my preparation, economics knowledge, which you have in general study, is that I am in mid-90s. So after globalization, IRS is going to take much greater role. At the time I felt like that, because direct taxes, see, one more thing, the IRS now, customs GST people are also quoting IRS as service. Earlier it was not so. Only in 2010 they have taken our my service name. Earlier they used to be called customs and customs and GST was not there. Excise taxes, C&E. So Indian Customs and Excise Service was that. So later, and in early 90s, Customs and Excise was a better preference than IRS IT. Now after 98, 99 onwards, 97 probably 95 onwards, IRS IT is a preferred service than Customs. No, it is your choice. It doesn't make much difference. Now coming back to IRS IT, which I am talking now, it is, as you are aware, it deals with the income tax, right? And just the taxes are divided into, okay, and income tax is a direct tax. What is a direct tax is, the tax is on the person, okay. When you earn your income, after your expenditure is over, on the profit, the tax is levied. It is called direct. Direct on the company, direct on the person, direct on the firm. Whereas indirect tax is transaction tax. When you deal with, suppose you are buying a, let us say TV or computer. So GST, sales tax, GST is added. That is the transaction tax. It is indirect because you are not earning anything, you are spending. and government is collecting on that. So that is indirect tax, this is direct tax. Now we are into income tax, which is a direct tax, right? And the significance of IRS now is just figures. This is more than 150-year-old. It was there in British time also. Probably the collector, probably it's sure. Collector, why he was called collector is because he used to collect taxes. Now collector is not collecting any taxes probably except revenue tax, which is again taken by the revenue department in the district or panchayat and all. So that's how the name has come. Ultimately it is the taxes, and over a period of time after independence and all that, that has become IAS, then this is IRS like that. So this is a 150-year-old department, and just a contribution factor, not much into statistics. 1991, the year of globalization, broad sense, liberalization in Indian economy, the collection of income tax was 10,000 crores. Okay? Now, roughly, okay, you need not like last digit, okay. 23-24 last financial year when we ended, I think it is around 20 lakh crore. So this is the contribution of IRS. This is how the department has also grown. This is how the department has also contributed. So you will be somewhere here. In one way or other, like, it's exactly not, there are different wings in the department, which I will share later. So 20 lakh crore, for example, when I was in Hyderabad for particular charge, way back, let us say 2017-18, my target was 5,000 crores. When I was in Chennai, I worked in Chennai as a joint commissioner. There I used to deal with corporates. There my target in 2013 itself was around 10,000 crores. It varies, but you are contributing the 3,000 crores out of the entire 20 lakh crores. This is for India, okay? Not for a, so out of this, you are contributing the taxes, you are collecting. You in the sense your team, like, your strategies or whatever. So this is your job nature. And next year it will be 21 lakh crore, 22 lakh crore. There you are, depends where you are. Like, chief commissioner will have so many commissions and all. He must be contributing 20,000 crores from his team. So ultimately it all comes down to how much you are giving to the country's kitty. And the development of the country is also because of IRS, IT, and of course indirect taxes are there, and coupled with other land registration taxes, excise state, and all that different taxes. But this is one of the major source for the revenue of the country. So in a way, you are more significant than other services. If you are from the service, you will feel proud of it like that. Other services will have their own, suppose somebody is in railways, they will feel, I am running the railways, which is the major transportation for the country, for the passengers, for the goods transportation. So I'm feeling proud of myself. So every service in the civils has their own contribution. Today I'm particular because I belong to this service, I thought of sharing. So I will be definitely positively biased that as a human you tend to be. So that is the contribution of IRS. So it's a good service. Okay. Then the postings, you start as an assistant commissioner, commissioner of income tax assistant, then deputy commissioner, joint commissioner, additional commissioner. The CIT is commissioner of income tax, okay? Then commissioner, then principal commissioner, then chief. The topmost is principal chief, and the apex body is CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, which you should have probably studied by now. This is the topmost apex body. It is with the finance minister. So there will be 6 members, 1 chairman. Okay. So you start from here. Most of them will retire as chief commissioners depending on the age where you get selected. If you have got selected at the age of 22, 23, 24 as of now, you will become CBDT member, and again there is special interview and all that subject to qualification, getting qualified there. So if you have 35, 34 years of service, 31, 32, whatever, principal chief commissioner. So this is the hierarchy. In the broad sense, first 6 to 8 years is this. This is after 8 to 17 years. This is 17 to 22, like that, 25 to 26. Then around chief commissioner is around 30 plus years. So I am just giving broad outline. And first, this is the field posting. In every service there will be field posting. Field in the sense when you are doing the groundwork. Okay. Like I will just compare with IAS, where you have sub-collector, joint collector and collector type. So that is equal to this somewhere here. So once you become joint commissioner, you will become a supervisory officer. So this is the field level officer where you do the original work, dealing with IT returns, dealing with the scrutiny assessments, and dealing with IT rights also. IT rights they only conduct. And Sharat was mentioning I have conducted. Actually, it is under my supervision as additional CIT, additional commissioner, the rights were conducted. So you will have a team at every stage. Okay. So, but the basic work, entire thing, crux of this where you learn and then work hard, contribute. You will have a tough time also, especially you will get married, you will have children, you will have domestic issues, your parents get old, all that. In the first few years, you have to balance all that. So that is in the broad structure what IRS as you can call position or posting of IRS, right? Then in IRS, see, this is the designation. Postings and wings, every department, this is a department oriented thing. Okay. IAS is not a department. You might have noticed that IAS is a general service where when you are a collector, you will deal with the revenue department, the overall district. But when you are a secretary, when you are in secretariat, you will deal with different departments, Panchayat Raj department and home department, or like excise department, like that. So whereas IRS is a department, rest of the services are departments. So I belong to income tax department, and railways, IRTS, railway traffic service, railway department, like that. Okay. So in the department you will have different kinds of wings. Okay, you can say branches or postings. One is called assessment. There are many, just to make things simplified, I am just mentioning few. Investigation, TDS, administration, international taxation, transfer pricing. There are many, one more thing is audit. Exemptions. I am commissioner exemptions now, my designation. I will tell about it later. Now, most of it is assessment. Okay. And just in the broad sense, you might have read constitution wherein you come across executive judiciary, right? Executive is the bureaucrat, judiciary is the judge. But IRS is a service in the broad sense, it is a quasi judicial authority. Those who have PubAd as option may know it. And in general studies also, I know what is quasi judicial authority when I was preparing civil services. Not fully, but meaning of it. It is semi-judiciary in the sense, see what happens when you are a judiciary, you are a judge. There are two parties. One party is accused, one party wants a relief, right? Sometimes, let us say, a thief is caught by police. Thief is accused. Police is from the department or police lawyer will come and argue before the judge that he has done something wrong or crime. So there are two parties arguing before a judge, and judge has to give a decision who is correct, right? In civil cases or criminal cases also, there are two parties. One side, mostly lawyers will also argue, one side for the one side and the other side for the other side. So two parties and judge has to hear and take a decision, right? In IRS, in the quasi judicial authority, what happens is, there is the taxpayer against whom we have raided or we have made a case. We are saying you have to pay this much of tax. You have paid only 1 crore, but it is 10 crores, so I am giving you an order, you have to pay. So who will argue for the taxpayer? There will be, let us say, CA or lawyer. So a qualified professional will argue on his behalf. From the government side, who will argue? No. Investigation is right. Don't go into it, but general, just give it a common sense. There should be some lawyer, right? No, it is the IRS only who will argue. And who will judge? We only judge. Okay? So I will make a case on behalf of the department or government, and I will also prepare a judgment. That's called order. Okay? This is quasi judicial. So you are a lawyer who argues for the department or government, and who is taking the decisions also for the department, right? That is quasi judicial authority. Got it? Any doubt in that? General, because it will be useful for your PubAd, this thing also. Quasi judicial authority is a semi judicial authority where on behalf of the government arguments is made and the government decision is also taken for the government, right? So here you are playing indirectly a role of a lawyer as well as judge. As simple as that. So now coming back, these are the wings of the department. Assessment is, IT returns are filed. They will file, I have to pay or need not pay tax in the simple terms, and then we assess it, and then we say that it is correct, or you may deserve refund, or you have to pay more tax. So that is assessment. It is a very interesting subject, it is very complicated also. You are dealing with all CAs and lawyers type. So whatever you have studied will be entirely different. You will be trained. So every day it will be challenging, and it is fully into business, finance, accountancy, all that. Okay? So you may get a doubt, I am a biology student. So I am one of the whatever successful officers in doing assessment. Many of us, not only me, 99%, there will not be any failure in civil services that way. So we deal with all these CAs, and before getting into our academy, the academy is in Nagpur, it's called the National Academy of Direct Taxes, NADT. So you get trained in Mussoorie, and later you go to the parent academy. Before getting into that, I don't even know what is properly debit and credit also. I don't know what is finance. Except the macroeconomics for the civil services, I am not even aware of microeconomics also, which is not needed. I don't know now, but our days macroeconomics is enough. planning and development, all those aspects. So I am dealing, today also I am dealing with all the CAs. You catch hold of what are the deficiencies in their preparation. So you will be trained in such a way. Don't bother about it will be tough job and all. No. You will get training. So the 2 years you will emerge as a officer who can tackle the CAs, lawyers and all. So that is the assessment. Assessment of what? Companies, firms, individual taxpayers, all that. Whatever you see business, whatever who is doing business, all that will be majorly done in the assessment. So assessment is the main wing of part of the IRS posting. Okay. Now investigation is where you go for the rights. Usually first posting people don't get the investigation, preferably they will get assessment. After 2-3 years or 1 or 2 years, it depends. You will go into investigation wing. Investigation wing, it's called wing also in the general sense. You will be a assistant director or deputy director. The commissioner in the investigation departments will be changed as director, designation only, more or less same. So that is more, as you are aware, powerful, and then one of the best postings in entire civil services, now you leave it IAS, IPS, any other service, is this. Okay, investigation is, you will get lot of exposure, you will get lot of power also, you will get you will work hard also, very challenging. It may sometimes damage your health also, but then utmost satisfaction you will get as investigation officer, and that is the greatest exposure in this service. Sometimes I feel that just for this investigation you should get into IRS. In the indirect sense, you can, with all the due power, you will have warrant to search any house. Even IAS, IPS also cannot enter into a minister's house or a big billionaire's house for searching them. It is impossible unless there is a crime case. But here, with a due warrant, you can go and search their houses also. That is the power. Of course, keep it in mind, power comes with a lot of responsibility also. You have to behave very responsibly. You should not behave in a haphazard way. But I am just sharing. So it is one of the finest postings. It is called, you are called as Assistant Director of Income Tax and Deputy Director of Income. Above that, there will be Additional Commissioner who is in charge of that. Above him, there will be Commissioner, there will be Chief Commissioner. These are all in the hierarchy, in every department it will be there. But this is the bottom posting as a Deputy Director, Assistant Director. With you, there will be inspectors, team of people who work for you. TDS is tax deducted at source. You are aware of it. All our salaries, who are working, your parents or anybody will get, the TDS is cut, then only you will get the remaining portion as a salary. And there are many kinds of TDS, not only on salary, contracts, professional fee, everywhere there is a TDS. It is a very good posting. So majority of the taxes also come from TDS. Administration is entire department is also, like any other department, you need some people to administer it. The HR management of the department, transfers, postings, promotions, day-to-day activities. So to run the department, there should be key role officers, that is administration. International tax, this deals with all international transactions, MNCs, foreign companies, okay, individuals who are non-residents. So that is international taxation. So transfer pricing is also related to international taxation in the sense there are transactions between foreign companies and Indian companies. Branches are the subsidiary of foreign company in India versus foreign company abroad. So those taxes are also dealt by this wing. So this is transfer pricing. Transfer of goods and services, the pricing they manipulate, okay? So that you assess it. It is an interesting job, emerging job. It was not there earlier 20-25 years back in the full term. And now it is fully operational. So audit is where you find the mistakes of the assessment and the internal auditing they do. And exemptions is, there are certain institutions, certain organizations who are exempted from paying taxes. Charitable organizations, societies, temples, religious societies or so, then education institutions, they are exempted because they are doing the service for the country. They are doing the job of the government, that's why they are exempted. But that is not easy to claim exemption. There are a lot of conditions available put by the department for them. So it's a different niche area. So exemption is also very big giving of the department. Okay. So right now I am commissioner exemptions for the Bombay charge, Mumbai, where we have more than 45 to 50,000 of society trusts are there. So my team will deal with all the, whether they are eligible to claim or no, even if when they are claiming, what are the loopholes, all that we deal. Okay. So this is broadly the posting scenario. Is it sounding interesting for you? I am not propagating here to take IRS, like, not to convince you that IRS is the best job, but as an IRS officer, I am just trying to, like, put some details or knowledge here so that you can appreciate it. In the sense, as in our time, now also it is second, third or fourth preference. So, as usual, 50, 100 or 200 guys only will get IAS. Rest of them has to get something, no? So even if you get, like, let us say, if you are getting IRS, if you are not having attempts, if you are tired, or as you are saying, your 3-year term is over, now if you have taken a decision of, okay, enough, it's also a good job, not a bad job. Anything, I can go on, but then it should be interesting to you also. I should not dump about whatever is there about IRS and all that. So, you just ask normal questions, silly questions, foolish questions, whatever you feel, you just ask. I like, seasoned or elder person, I will, don't hesitate that somebody will feel whether I don't know this. Nobody knows anything about services. Your knowledge about any service is also almost zero before you get into service.
What happened if you not pay taxes to our country?
I didn't get you.
Tax pay చేయకపోతే ఎకనామిక్ ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్, హ్యూజ్ ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్ వస్తుంది ఎక్కువగా ఎకనామిక్. Necessity to pay tax.
Is it necessary to pay taxes? What happens if taxes are paid less also? Now, you might have read budget. There is a pie chart in budget generally. How rupee comes and how rupee goes in the simple sense. So, what are the sources for the government? As a voter or a citizen, you feel government is responsible to do development. Where will you get the money?
To taxes.
One of the sources, major source is tax. Taxes is the major source. Then is loans. You borrow from banks or external agencies like World Bank or so. You borrow from people also. RBI borrows from people. You must have born after 1990 only, obviously. What is your year of birth? I am just asking. 22. 2002. 22. So, by the time I was already in service. Now, 1991, I am just sharing, which is 20 years before your birth. You can ask your parents. You might also seen whether the country is developed compared to 1990 or today. Whether country is developed, it may not be the world #1 country, leave that aside, but generally, I am just asking about progress and growth. Since time you are born and today, in this 22, 23 years, right? So, that is because of increase in the taxes collection. Both direct, indirect, state excise tax and revenue collection, everything, every tax has their own more or less contribution. So, if you have less taxes, obviously less development by the government. Government should get the money. No? One of the major sources is tax only.
చేంజ్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్, ఏ ఇయర్ ట్యాక్సెస్ బట్టి ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వడం అంటే
there is no negative growth so far, except COVID year. Obviously, COVID, everything was down. That 1 year growth was not like, if you have prepared for, I think 18% or so, we got 10% or something like that. But right now it is going around 16 to 18%. When your growth rate is more than the GDP growth rate, so obviously there will be surplus. So in that sense, taxes definitely are important. So there should be a culture in the society also to be aware of paying taxes. The moment somebody gets wealthy, rich, they will try to avoid taxes. It's there in developed countries also, but here being a developing country, that is more tendency is there more. People will be there to give you advice how to avoid tax, how to escape tax. That's where you are there as IRS to deal with these things.
Sir, in recent news, which you have heard last month, we have come across the news that EC Siddhartha, who is the former founder of CUET, so he has committed suicide due to tax terrorism. So what do you think is your opinion on tax terrorism?
See, it is a sensitive thing to answer also. One of the reasons he might have quoted, some high-handedness he feels. It may be attributable to one particular individual officer, some way, miscommunication. It happens because I was saying the enormous power, sometimes somebody may cross the line of decently, instead of collecting taxes, you go against as a person. Little, I'm not saying it won't happen, but they are very, very rare happenings. It answers your question, not fully.
What is the difference between IRS IT and IRS customs service?
Like IRS IT is income tax only. We deal only with the direct taxes. Income tax is actually, I did not elaborate, there is corporate tax which is paid by the companies, income tax paid by the firms and all that, even individuals, we also are salaried employees. TDS is also there, and then wealth tax, those who have got rich wealth will pay 1% tax. So this is the direct tax. Customs is indirect tax where you exchange custom goods and all that, and also excise where you GST nowadays it is called. Earlier excise was only central and state different. Now they have merged it, GST, general sales and goods taxes. So that is dealt by IRS indirect taxes. So they cannot come this side, we cannot go that side. It is clear, service is different. Like IAS, IPS, collector cannot become SP, SP cannot become collector. The same way, in the simple sense, I am only IRS IT, Assistant Commissioner, direct taxes only. He will be IRS IT, Assistant Commissioner, indirect taxes. Sometimes they are in customs, within them they have wings. Customs is separate, GST is separate. So their postings may change. 2 years you are here, sometimes they may take you to customs, sometimes you may come back to GST. It is like.
Sir, in present days GST and technology is present now. What are the changing growth of IRS?
Of all the departments in the country, IRS is one of the technically efficient department. Depends more on technology. So the Central Processing Center CPC is there in Bangalore, which deals all with your IT returns. I don't know whether you have seen an IT return. IT return is a big bunch. It will have so many columns. Way back when I was in Assistant Commissioner 2002-03, at that time, we used to deal with the physical copies. So I was posted in Rajahmundry, where there is ONGC and there are many companies, firms and all. So I used to have 15,000 to 20,000 files. Every day I used to sign, after return is processed, physically I used to go through, my staff, whoever worked with me used to go through. Every day I used to sign 100 to 200, 300 minimum signature only. In fact, one of my seniors, my name is Pawan Kumar. I used to sign Pawan Kumar like this. Then when I joined service, some senior, after seeing my signature, he suggested, "Hey, itna bada signature if you have, it will be very difficult to sign." So I made a short signature just to save time, conserve time. So I am just sharing from that day. Today I don't sign anything. It is a digital signature. And all these returns, 8 to 9 crore of returns are processed by Central Processing Center, where I don't get into. I get into the bigger things. After return, what happens, how much is the claim, whether some more to be taxed, assessment to be done. So IRS IT is one of the technologically efficient department. You will deal with systems. Without computer, you can't work. If you are good at computers, that is fine, but you need not know programming and all that. But you should be able to handle a computer, like a general sense. And technologically, I just quote, way back in 2006, department has, including ITOs, IRS Assistant Commissioner level 2, I told, na? In entire India, there will be around 5,000 or 6,000 officers right now. And there are some promotee ITO, income tax officer, who are not into IRS. Below that, they are also called officers. They deal with small cases also. All of us were given laptops, working laptops, way back in 2006-07. So department is technically, software side is well equipped and well advanced also. Does that answer your question? Or no, does it answer your question?
Many more, only many more UK are not there roles touching.
No, I am not getting. You are saying whether department is adopted as a, we are talking as a IRS officer, how we have to handle. Systems is part of your day-to-day job. You will deal with systems, you will work on system. From the taxpayer perspective, they need not come to the office also, unless there is some raid or something specific, significant thing, some grievance is there. Otherwise, they need not come to office. Everything is online. So that kind of technical efficiency is there from both the sides, the department side and the taxpayer side. Right? Actually, that is a good question. In that sense, before that I will answer, I will tell about one thing. IRS is an urban-oriented service. Okay? So, in every service there is positive, negative. I will just talk about the positive thing in IRS. Negative thing is you don't get the service facilities like IAS, IPS, some gunman with you or this badge peon with you, that kind of thing will not be there. So you won't get the bungalow type of thing also, but you will get a good quarters. There are reasons for this. It is not a public service where you go field visit every time. It is mostly office oriented, confined kind of job. Now as an IRS, for me, the smallest place where I have worked is Rajahmundry, here in Andhra. So Rajahmundry is a very rich place, Kakinada, Elur or Vizag, Vijayawada, Tirupati. These are the places maximum IRS may be forced to work if you are not willing, I am saying. That is also 2 to 3 years. Okay? So it is an urban service. So you get postings only in cities. Right? I will come to your answer. Why I am saying this is, just keep in mind, it is good for the lady officers also, because facilities are there. If you are living in Visakhapatnam or Hyderabad or Vijayawada, generally you get all, what do you need? Good education for your kids, or good medical facilities for you or for your parents or family. Then good urban facilities a good mall or good theaters, just to have a good lifestyle, good restaurant. So apart from facility, these are education, health is main thing for us. So these facilities you get on all the services, all the good cities. Whereas in IAS, IPS, the recognition all this is there, but the smallest place they have to start with I don't know, C center or very small place. Later when they come to the secretariat, they will be in the capital. But you have option of staying in the capital, like one can work in Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bombay almost like 30 years. And in each city, your tenure will be maximum 6 to 8 years you can stay. After that, you can go out and then come back also. Okay? So that is the advantage in IRS compared to other services. Same with customs excise also, almost both are same that way. Why? Because now I come to your answer, your question. You have asked whether there is a change in collection of the taxes. Now, out of 20 lakh crore taxes collected last year, more than 30-35% comes from Bombay. Okay? Bombay is a financial hub or capital of the country, right? So, our job nature as IRS is directly proportional to the tax collection centers. Now, coming to Hyderabad, for our department, it is a central government department. We don't distinguish between Andhra and Telangana, right? So, Hyderabad is headquarters for both the states. And let us say in Hyderabad, 1 lakh crores is collected roughly. Out of that, 60 to 70,000 crores will be from Hyderabad city only. And there are 100 odd IRS officers. Out of them, 60-70 are in Hyderabad only. In Tirupati, there will be only one post as per my cadre, commissioner. In, I think Rajahmundry, there is no post also now. Vizag, there will be 2 or 3 commissioners. Vijayawada, same. Rest of them are all in Hyderabad. So, the collection also accordingly, Hyderabad, that's why I am quoting Hyderabad as an example. So, 1 lakh crore is from Andhra, Telangana. Not even 10,000 crores is from Orissa, right? Northeast states also there will be very, very meager. All put together, I don't think there will be 5 to 6,000 crores. Delhi will contribute around 80 to 90,000 crores. 1 lakh to 2 lakh crores. Bangalore also around 1 lakh crore, a little bit more or less to similar to Hyderabad. Chennai also. So in urban centers, wherever income tax collection is directly proportional to the development of the place. Either it is a city or a state. You know how development is there in our country, pattern. State-wise also cities also as a educated person. So you can simply assume which is the most urban, I am saying development, it may vary from person to person. I am saying development in the sense financial development, business development. So which is the most developed city in India financially? Obviously Bombay. Bombay is the financial hub. So you will get major portion from Bombay. Is it Thiruvananthapuram more developed than let us say Chennai or Ahmedabad? No. So obviously Ahmedabad collection will be more than Thiruvananthapuram. It is as simple as that. So development and taxes are hand in glove, and accordingly your postings are also hand in glove. So the one advantage in IRS is that you will be in cities, assured, most of your postings, unless you opt to go for, or sometimes on promotion, or sometimes there will be lack of posting availability. That will be 2-3 years max. Out of the whatever I have, see, major taxes will be from companies. That is major taxes. The company will pay the taxes, or before that also TDS is collected. So that is the maximum source of companies only, and then followed by individuals also, because more salary employees are there, private public sector. So there, before giving the salary also TDS is cut. So that is one contribution from the salaried employees. That is called individuals, we call individual taxpayer.
Sir, is it right to collect a home tax like independent? Because I have seen a situation where
No, I didn't get you.
like home tax independent is saying they collect.
Okay. Home tax is property tax.
Yes, sir.
You are saying whether it is right or wrong.
Yes, because I have seen a situation where a woman started like cursing and crying because their furniture started to put out because of not paying tax.
This actually doesn't come under our IRS this thing. This is totally municipal or urban, state government tax. See, probably the reason is that once you are owning a home, it's a property tax. Once you are owning a property, so that will be meager only. It is not into lakhs or I don't know how much. It will be like 3,000, 4,000 kind of thing. So since you are owning a property, you are supposed to pay the tax. Sometimes it may be mortgaged or these are the scenarios. Right or wrong, I can't judge. No, as a student who are preparing, if you feel it is right, it is right. If you feel it is wrong, also it is wrong, because you will have your own reasons. But this is an exception where somebody is homeless, but still government is trying to collect. There may be background to it. Suddenly government, any department will not go and throw the furniture out, and there must be some background, some notices they might have given. So it is the climax of what all happened you might have seen. There may be many notices, many kind of warnings and all that. So anything else?
సార్ గవర్నమెంట్ చేసినప్పుడు మనకు ప్రైజెస్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి కదా సార్, వీటి ఏమన్నా ట్యాక్స్కి ఏమన్నా
Will the government increase and decrease prices?
ఐ మీన్ గవర్నమెంట్ చేయబోతుంది
Policies, certain that's in the budget based on the taxes. Obviously in budget you might have seen some increase in tax rate for some relaxation. Earlier, long back, there was no relaxation for women taxpayers. I think some 20 years back they started with if male taxpayer has to pay for 2 lakhs, women taxpayer has to pay for 3 lakhs and above. So there is flex.
ఓన్లీ కమ్యూనిటీస్ లైక్ గ్రాసరీస్లో మనకి కొన్ని ప్రైజెస్ అనేది డిక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి.
That is because of the sales tax, GST.
ట్యాక్స్ అనేది ప్లే చేస్తున్నారు సార్.
Obviously, see now you have 18% GST. Earlier, if you used to go to a restaurant, you will not have 5% plus 5% state GST if you go through the bill. So obviously there is
ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటి సార్? అంటే
increase. The only reason for increase is government wants to collect more taxes. If you don't want to pay tax, you don't buy the good. But the problem is there are some compulsory goods where you buy. So obviously the prices have increased. So that is the government policy now. Go on increasing taxes.
ప్రోడక్ట్ డిమాండ్ బట్టి ట్యాక్స్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది సార్.
In a way it is correct. See, excise tax is more on liquor because it's a luxury item. Same way, if you go to star hotels and all that, so the taxes will be more. So if you don't want to pay tax, don't use the facility. It's not a need, no? It is not a necessary. But then groceries, generally they are kept low, but sometimes little paying capacity of the people has also increased now compared to earlier. But if you observe the budget, the taxes will be increasing. And one more reason for the increase in prices is because of the inflation. Inflation depends on demand and supply. So thereby there will be price increase also. Now tomato, for example, there is no crop production fully. So tomato, if there is plenty of production, 20-30 rupees also there are days you may get. But now if there is a decrease in availability, there is a demand supply impact. So you will get for 100 rupees now. So that marketplace role, right? So anything else? You mean IRS? Civil services you can't get into unless now government in top level they are taking some advisors kind of thing. But this posting and all that you can't. That's why we are all here. There is no lateral entry, you are not, only in judiciary it is there. But here, see, judiciary in the sense you can become High Court judge if you are a lawyer with 10 to 15 years experience and all that. So there are judiciary recruitment as well as lawyers also becoming judges. But here, no. In bureaucracy, you can contribute as a citizen, but by paying more taxes and all that, but not as an officer. What do you intend to? I'm not getting fully your. Huh? అంటే క్వశ్చన్ నువ్వే అడిగావు కాబట్టి నిన్నే ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ నేను అడుగుతా. రాకపోతే ఏం కంట్రిబ్యూట్ చేయాలన్నది నీకు? సో మనీ రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? బిజినెస్ చేయాలి. సో ఫస్ట్ అది చేయి, తర్వాత యూ కెన్ కంట్రిబ్యూట్. ఎన్జిఓ అంటే ఎగ్జామ్షన్ వాట్ ఐ సెడ్, చారిటబుల్ ట్రస్ట్ ఆర్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్, యూ కెన్ float a one. See, I'm just quoting. Shah Rukh Khan once said, before you become a philosopher, first you become rich. So if you want to start an NGO, first you earn money. See, self care is better than caring others. No, I understand this thing. You can contribute to society. It's a broad term, contributing society is. Even Prabhas is also contributing to society. He will say, I'm entertaining people. So I'm just saying, it is whatever your talents are there. First, I think, all of us will get this. You rightly asked that question. All of you will get that. If I don't get into the exam, how can I contribute to this society? There are different ways. Like, if you have asked me, had I not got the selection those years, what could I have done? I could have figured it out. You should always have a plan B. So if you are of age of 24, 25, you still foolishly believe that I will only get civil services, I will not do anything in life. Let us imagine a scenario, you don't get the service. What will you do in life? You're all educated, qualified. So with that qualification, you can do anything. First, you have to survive. So I thought of my strength is zoology. So I thought of taking post as a lecturer in that sense. So that you should be financially sound also. You can earn good money, probably doing some coaching center like this, or going for medicine related coaching centers. I don't know. I could have done something like that as a plan B. So I feel all of us should have, as an intelligent person, because those who are writing civil service are supposed to be intelligent also, right? So as an intelligent, educated person, you have your own idea of what you should do. Figure it out now itself in life. If you don't crack the exam, nothing wrong. See, you should be intelligent enough, selfish enough to survive in life. See, I don't know, our days, 300, 400 only were the postings. Usually before 96, 97, it used to be around, I think, 1000 or 1200, 1500 like that. 98 to 97, 98 to 2004 or 5, I think it is the phase where I have written, unfortunately, is only 300, 400. Then after that again 800, 1000 they have increased. Now also I think, what is the recruitment now? 1000. 1600. 1060. 106. Okay, roughly 1000, 1100, whatever. So good. See, we have written, I feel proud of whatever we have cracked those days. With my rank, I could have got a top service also, but that's a scenario, whatever. So it was very tight situation. I was also like so suffocated after getting this service. I had attempts, but the next year 410 was a recruitment number in our time. Now next year it was 280 or so, the number of posts. So I was given up. I couldn't make this much in 400 odd. So what are my chances in getting 280? I was not confident enough of this hard work, whatever. We really worked hard compared to later years, earlier years. Compared to, I am saying. Competition is competition again. Again, same number, core competition will be there. So anything else?
ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారు సార్? అంటే హాబీ రిలేటెడ్, ఫ్యామిలీ రిలేటెడ్?
It's all mixed. They may ask anything. It is an open field. They may ask about current news. Mostly it is current and your optional related only. Family and hobbies will be majorly secondary. Just to test your personality as an officer, general questions they will ask. Okay, we'll keep meeting probably next session. Maybe your preparation will be more intense and strengthened. You will be more aware. Try to be more aware now. Try to prepare well, because lot of sources are there. Click of a button, you get lot of. But consolidating knowledge is the main challenge for you. Now with ChatGPT, you will get any answer. But what will be your answer is more important. So there is more dilution now. Our days, there is only one source, library. That's it. We have plenty of sources. So the more affluence is there, plenty of sources may also create a lot of confusion also. So we had more clarity, one source, one knowledge, that's all. You have more sources, more the kind of knowledge base available, but answer should be only one, right? So with this brief session, I know I might not have covered entire thing, whatever is in your head, but as your preparation gets into, you may be more clear. All the best. Whatever I said about the style of preparation and all that, keep it in mind. Be bold, be strong, and stress out reasonably, not fully, okay? And analyze yourself, understand your preparation from time to time, and don't waste years together.
So friends, hope you are able to interact with him. Hope we have cleared some of your doubts about the service. Basically, each session has a different purpose, each session. The purpose of this session is to understand IRS as service, and also overall the profile of a civil service officer in general, to keep you motivated to prepare for the examination. Also, this experience will somehow help in writing ethics case studies and ethics answers. You'll understand how a bureaucrat shall think. It will help you in a broad way.